again, set it up again. So what we do is this cube here, we drag it to here, and then it becomes a prefab, like a pattern. Then you can, in some other place, say we want to put the wall here, you just need to drag this here. Okay, yeah, because then it will have another wall there. You don't have to like set it up anymore. And for each game object, you actually have some other properties you can play with, like this material. So see, this is a material. It's by default it's like white, but if you want some other material, you can create another material here. Maybe give the color you want to use. Give me color.
Orange.
Orange. Okay. Okay. So you first create the materials here. Then you kind of orange. Let's assume it's an it's an orange. Okay, kind of like orange. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to apply this material.
Right.
Yes. Then it become orange. This one. Okay. We can make another. Maybe we can use this yellow or blue. Yeah. So that you can adjust the color of it. Also, you can if you adjust the color of this orange to red, what happens is anything that's applied with this material will become red. Yeah. So yeah, this will be more clear. Okay. If it's black, everything there is black. If it's green, everything that applied with this material will be green. So this material, you can apply it to different objects, but if you once you change the color of this material, of this particular material, everything that uses the material will be changed. So it's kind of like when you're doing painting in the building, you're choosing one material, but as long as you switch that material, every room will be painted with that material. Okay, so that's that kind of concept. All right, and for the game object, okay, let's add another thing here. Let's add a sphere here. Okay. So right now we have a sphere here. We have this wall, this green wall here, and yeah, if we want to move the sphere to the same position of the wall, of this wall over here, of this wall, what are we gonna do here? Any way to do that? Yeah.
If you're just trying to move to the exact same spot, click on the transform section. Copy its transform.
Okay. There are different ways to do that. This is the most straightforward way, but sometimes it won't work. So you drag it, and you cannot exactly merge the precision somehow by only observing through your eyes. Maybe this a little bit off, something like that. However, another way is you kind of look at this transform and do the copy paste of each of the x, like negative 0.97, you put it like here. Another way is you can directly copy component from this wall, and then you select this sphere. You paste component values. So it's being put in the same position as the wall. You can see the center of the cube at the center. When I say the position, it's actually the center of the cube and the center of the wall. They merge. Yeah, if we do that. So copy and paste the component. And you can copy paste other component as well. You can try that afterward. Not only the transform. Transform is one component that controls the position, rotation, and scale of that game object. And we have different component here, like the collider. Okay, this renderer and this renderer. If we do not have renderer, we do not have that mesh. We do not have that object being rendered. And other components as well. So you can copy paste different components. Okay. And last thing I want to talk about the game object here. One. Okay. So let's build something interesting. Let's have a cube. Let's have a sphere. A cube. Let's make it like build a human here with cube. This is going to be a human-like objects. Okay. So at this moment, for this human, it looks like a human, but actually it's different objects there. We have a head, torso. We have a legs, arms, legs. Right. So there comes a problem. It comes with a problem. So when you want to move this. You want to move this human, you kind of need to select every single object of a human, right? And then you can move the whole body. As long as you forgot something weird is going to happen, something weird is going to happen, like this. See? Okay, so what we do now, what we do is that we want to utilize the hierarchy to make it like a one object. Okay, so we have those 4 cubes and the sphere. Let's make the head. Let's make everything follow the head. So we select all this. And we can drag them to the sphere. Then it will become a sub-object of the head. Here you can see this is head, sphere. It's a head. Okay. So if you click the head, you can see what are the subcomponents of the head. Okay. And if you want to make this the sub-object of the torso, you can also do that. Okay. So at this moment, if you select the head, and then you can move the whole body. And if you select the, it moves rest. It moves itself and its son like this, something like this. So that's how we utilize this hierarchy. All right. Okay. So that's the human. And also what you can do is, if you do not want something particular to be the parent, what you can do is you can use this game object. You can create an empty object here. So it's basically nothing there. It's just a transform component there. It has the position, rotation, scale, but nothing else. And then if you drag it, okay, so we call it human body, and we put the head in the human body. We put the torso and legs, arms, so that whenever we want to manipulate this human body, we just need to find this human body object. It only has this position, rotation. So we can rotate it. Right? And it's actually, we are not moving and rotating the head, the cube, anything, any particular component of that human body. Instead, we are managing this transform of this empty object. Manipulate that in order to manipulate this human body. So that's how we create this empty object. So it's empty because no mesh, no render, just a concept there, an object. And it has transformed, that's true. Okay, so that's how you play with those objects. Yeah, I think that covers most of the important thing I want you to know for now. All right. Okay. All right. So next, we're finishing this introduction to Unity, and we go to the user interface. How we play with the user interface in the Unity. So yeah. When we talk about user interface, you may think that may not be a big of a deal, since that's basically we finish when we're doing projects, we finish the main functionalities first. Sometimes the UI we just put something there, make it. You can click, as long as you can click, then it's fine. But actually, user interface is highly related to the user experience of any product, right? And why do you think Apple can be that successful? They have very well user interface. They provide very good user experience to you. That's one of the important reasons. Okay, and yeah, when they are doing projects, they actually give a very high priority to the user interface, user experience, so that you can have a very well experience. Maybe when you're using Android stuff, you get stuck somehow, but in Apple, sometimes it's just give the priority to your UI to let you feel this fluence of the system. Yeah. So, and a lot of things you can talk about in the user interface, and a lot of design principles for the user interface. Now let's look at how we can manipulate the user interface here. And Unity itself provide a pretty well user interface as well. See, you can basically visualize everything here, like the component. You can visualize the transform. You can change the transform by dragging, and you can change a lot of things just by visualize those components. And Now, first, when we talk about user interface, first thing we want to talk about is the input. Is the input for a game, for a program in Unity. Okay. So, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this Xbox controller. I believe you are somehow know what is that, right? So when you play a game, you use either a keyboard or the controller. And for the controller, it actually has a lot of input, different axes. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can see pretty clear, but today we're going to use this: the fourth axis, the fifth axis, and x-axis and y-axis. There. So we have different axes. So here we call it the button, the B button, the A button. We call it 0 axis, 1 axis, 2 axis, 3 axis, and every button has its axis. Okay, and yeah, this is the Xbox 360, but this is Xbox One. Work. So for this button, it will be kind of simple. So when you press the button, usually the axis is going to be 1 or 0, something like that. But for this thumbstick, you're going to have a different value inputted to the system, right? So if you do it all the way to the left, the x-axis is going to be 1 or -1. If it's like this, general position, it's going to be zeros. But if you move it halfway, it's going to be like 0.5. The value is going to be 0.5 or 0.16, things like that. So in between, you can have some value in between. Okay. Keep the color. Okay. You can have some value in between for this thumbstick. And if you move left and right, it's going to be the x-axis. And if you move up and down, it's going to be the y-axis. Okay? And if you move left and down, it's going to be both the x-axis and the y-axis. And here it's the same. For the fourth and fifth axis is similar to x and y. So let's see how we use this 4 axis to control something in the game. Okay. All right. First, a very nice thing here is you don't even need a driver, or you don't even need some third-party software. As long as you plug in this controller to your computer. Okay, where's the USB? It'll be recognized by the system. And what's very nice is here. The error is not related with that. It will be recognized automatically by the Unity as well. But somehow it's not here. I'm not sure. So let's see. And it's not recognized here. somehow. Okay, let's restart Unity. Usually it should be recognized by this Unity. Somehow it doesn't recognize this controller. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Xbox One controller. What system is it?
Windows 7.
Yeah. Maybe it's not competitive. Maybe I need to use the Xbox 360 controller. But
It might just be that this is the education version. That might not.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. I hope you can see this. What you can see from this computer. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see the screen, but whenever you connect this controller to a general computer, that is working. Okay, I'm not sure what's the issue of that one.
Exactly.
It will give you a message like joystick connected, Xbox One for Windows. It will have that kind of message here. So it should be some message, over here, over this position. And then for this, I can use the controller to control its position, to control the position of the cube, and I can make the cube rotate with the fifth and fourth axis. And I move the position of the cube with the x and y axis. I use this to rotate, use this to control the position. So yeah, that's how it is supposed to work, like this way. And then let's see how I did this. How I did this is I'm using one of the scripts. I'm attaching a script to as a component to this object. And let's see what this script looks like. So we're sticking to the concept of script. The script is something that you program and you attach as a component to any game object. It's a component just like the transform, right? It's like a component that can control the behavior of your game object.
Ask again later. Like the model.
Yes. Quote first time.
Few minutes. It says few minutes. Okay. So it's control the behavior of your game object. So the behavior is controlled through the program, and you can writing this script in C# as well as JavaScript. So, but I will use the C# to use as examples here. Okay, and in this script, it's actually a C# class. It's actually a C# class, and it's inherited from some upper level class within this Unity system. That class actually controls the behavior of your object. So that behavior in that class, it has some functions. One function is called start. You need to override. Basically, there are many functions like undo, but two most important one is the start and the update. You need to override those two functions, but those two functions, they are executed differently. So the start function is only executed for once when you actually start the program or start the object. It will be like initialize some position of your object, initialize different things of your object. And the update function, it's called every loop of your game. You know what is a loop? So it's called just in a loop. It's called repeatedly. And so the things that in the update you can use to update maybe the position of your game object, the rotation. You can update any other attributes in any other attributes in this in any attributes of the component of one object. Okay, and yeah.
Monodev just said now I'm in the
I can't wait. Yeah. Okay. So that update actually, what is the frame rate of your game? Usually, sometimes you are suffering from a very low frame rate of your game, right? So the frame rate, it depends on how many loops can you go through for each second. So what the efficiency of the update function and the kind of objects you need to render all have the influence on the script, on the whole game, And if you put like some very big algorithm in the update function, like you are trying to identify 100, maybe 10,000 people's face and associate them with a name in every loop, then your loop is gonna be like execute for maybe 5 seconds. Then your frame rate is gonna be close to 0, right? Because usually you go one loop every 5 seconds. So the things you put into the update function, you need to be very careful about that, because it's called every second for maybe 60 times, 100 times.
Forgot to freeze the access. You need to place a constraint.
It's okay. Monodev is
So there are two different ways to edit this script. One is through this Visual Studio, one is the manual development. Okay, so this is the script that I use to control. I use to control the controller, and I use to map the controller to the behavior of your objects. Like what I mentioned, we have start function here. We need to override, but since we're not doing anything, so okay. Okay, we have this function is detect controller, so it's called in the detect controller is in the update function. So how do we detect the controller here? So whenever you connect your controller to the system, you can call this input get joystick names. It will return you an array of the joysticks you have connected to the system. So if the 0 is the first element of the array, right? You all know that, right? You have the basic knowledge of that. Okay, so because we only connected one controller to the system, so if the name of the first controller is not known, then we can decide that we have a controller. We have a controller connected, and we assign true value to this boolean. And then we can identify the controller. How do we identify the controller is we just put the name to the string. Actually, there's some other way to detect whether it's connected. It's we can check if the size is greater than 1. It's greater than 0. Right? If the size of this array is greater than 0, then we can decide there's some controller that has been connected. Okay? So that's how we detect the controller. And in the update function, we call the controller, and the controller is a string. If you remember, the controller is a string here. The controller is a string, and we decide if it is the name of an Xbox One controller. If it's Xbox 360, you just need to switch this 1 to 360. So this is string. So we compare the names. If that is the 360, the Xbox controller, then we call the input to get axis. Xbox One axis X. If it's smaller than some value, if it's smaller, so x-axis. If it's smaller, smaller than you put the stick to the left side. It's gonna be smaller. Then it's gonna move. It's gonna change the position, x position of that object, of that cube. And it's the same logic here. If it's greater and if it equals to 0, we do nothing. We still put the cube there. Okay? And so does the y-axis. And goes up and down. And here it's the input Xbox One axis 4 and 5. We judge if it's greater than 0 or less than 0. Then we create some rotation. We call function to rotate that object. You don't have to remember everything now here. For now, you do not need to remember everything. I just give you a concept, how we get this, how we do this. And when we call input get axis, Xbox One axis, how we get that from the system here? You go here, the edit, the setting, the input, and then you can have the input manager. And you can create your axis. Like this Xbox One axis X is what I created. I can call it any name. And then here, we have this type. We need to select the joystick and the axis. Since that has already been identified by the system. You have every system. You have every access that is available here. That is the actual input from your joystick. That's the input from your joystick. So in here, you're kind of doing a mapping from this joystick axis to whatever name you want to call. So that it's kind of a layer in between your program, and controller. So whenever a good advantage of doing that is when you want to change some controller in your game, you do not need to modify your program. You just need to modify this mapping here. If I want to have a Xbox One, if I want to use different axes to control that, I just need to do a different mapping here without modifying your program. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. And next week we will learn more about the scripting, how we use the controller.